fans, welcome to another edition of Boxing for Real. I'm your host, Don Omega, I Am Truth. Once again, another show. Yes, we're recording a lot of these at once. That's why we have the same clothes on. Anyhow, let's talk about the Ishe Smith fight from a while ago. We didn't cover that. We wanted to go back to that. Ishe Smith won.
Yeah, great performance. Second round knockout. The guy was not a good fighter that he fought. Don't get me wrong. So I mean, but he did what he was supposed to do, what he was expected to do. He broke him down. I love the way this guy mixes his body shots into his combinations. He does that alongside he does that pretty much the best out of anybody in boxing. I mean, besides the very top guys, but he really does that well. He throws a lot of body shots, goes to the body very well. That's just one of the great things about him. This guy's a top fighter. He's coming up more and more. He's got one loss against the guy that won the contender, Sergio Mora,
who also fought.
Yeah,
and right now we'll move on to that. Yeah. Sergio Mora
beat a 6'4" fighter, Eric Reagan. That guy was no good, but Mora dominated him. He beat him. Did what he usually does. He threw combinations, outboxed him. He taunted him, of course, throughout the fight.
Snake.
Yep.
Defending his contender title.
Yeah. Who knows? But anyway.
Maybe against the guy with Eric Reagan, but
he did dominate him. He got a good win under his belt, and it showed he could adapt to somebody who was much taller than him. So, good win for him too, and hopefully him and Ishe Smith can rematch someday. Because
absolutely, I definitely want that rematch.
Because Ishe, it seems like he got robbed in that. Really, we don't know for sure.
Seen the highlights. It was rumored that they would be bringing out DVD set with the full fight.
That would have been great.
Never happened. Turned out to be bullshit.
We need to see that.
And it was a 5-round fight anyhow. All those fights, 5-round fights. I don't know.
They can make it look like anything on there. They made it look like Andre Eason was...
Even during that particular fight with Ishe and Mora, there were punches where Ishe was blocking, and they were making the punch landed sound.
Like Mora was landing them, yeah.
And blocking and dodging.
They make every fight...
When you dodge a punch, there's no sound. Come on.
Absolutely, except the air going by. But they make it every fight. It's always tied up at the 5th round, 2-2, even though the scorecards read 50-45 at the end on some cases, so they can make it look any way they want to, just like they've shown a highlight of Jose Luis Castillo supposedly knocking Mayweather down before in the 12th round of their second fight, I believe. Mayweather slipped. When Castillo threw a punch, it wasn't even called a knockdown. Anybody can see that. They make it look like that to give him a highlight. They can do anything with the highlights. So
absolutely, the only way to truly win on these kind of situations, knockout. I mean, if you go on the future contender stars, intend to knock your opponent out. Don't just intend to knock him out. Knock him out, or you could be screwed.
Yep. You
could win every single round, and they could make it look like you lost.
Exactly.
Every single round. So beware of the contender. Yeah. Anyhow, so what was the other fight?
And Alfonso Gomez, also from the Contender Season 1. It was Contender Season 1 night, yes, on August 25th. Anyway, he had a good performance against Carson Jones. Had an 8th round knockout. That was the last round of the fight, so he got it in the very last round. He dominated the whole way through pretty much. Had a few bad moments. Jones' slickness seemed to bother him somewhat a few times, nothing major. But Gomez put his punches together, let his hands go all night, and got rid of him.
He's better than fucking Manfredo.
Yes, he beat Manfredo in the first fight of the contender ever.
And the network was surprised by that, and they had to figure out a way to slip Manfredo back in there.
Yep, so thanks for that. But anyway.
Manfredo, speaking of Peter Manfredo, his fight, he is not going to be shown now on that October 14th.
Boxing After Dark card.
Something, whatever the reason may be, maybe God heard about it and was like, what? That's not happening. I'm joking, but who knows? For whatever reason, the fight is off.
Ludabella wanted options, so, and they didn't give it to him, that's why. So HBO got rid of that fight, so they made a good move for once. But now, probably, hopefully it will be Vivian Harris against Isaac, the guy that beat Nate Campbell on April 7th, the night before Judah Mayweather.
Isaac, hard name to say.
Yeah, something, but anyway, he's undefeated, 25-0, 9 knockouts. Vivian Harris probably will be taking him on in the main event, so we get a better main event anyway. And
one worth watching.
Yeah, Andre Berto on the undercard, a good card all around, and Manfredo going to pay-per-view on October 28th against Joey Spina. So you won't want to watch that, but
nope.
Anyway.
So don't bother ordering that.
Please.
Hell, if you want to, go ahead. No.
Well, it's your money, but
it's your waste.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch
if I was
that
you.
shit.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't pay to see that.
I'm not even downloading that for free off something.
I would do that, but that's, I mean, I'd watch it if it was
not
on.
Me.
Yeah.
I'd watch it if it were on, but I won't go to the effort of maybe if it's on YouTube and I've got absolutely nothing else to do. Okay, about the events. Also, it looks like Kassim Uma and Jermaine Taylor has been signed for November 25th, and looking forward to this fight. I think Uma is going to beat him up.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that whenever the week before that gets here.
Good for Uma. He's finally getting his well-deserved shot. He's definitely paid his dues.
Middleweight title?
Yep, undisputed middleweight championship. So I expect Uma to beat him very clearly.
Well, it's not truly undisputed, actually.
Yeah, that's true. But it's always, you got the judge's story about against with Taylor.
Absolutely. So. You never know what they're going to do. But I do expect Uma to win that pretty clearly.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens from there. At least HBO likes Uma as well. At least so far.
Yeah. Don't think anybody compares to Taylor though for him right now. Apparently.
Yeah, I think Ricky Hatton does.
Well,
I think he's
possibly.
A little higher than Taylor
I
on
don't
their
know,
list.
but
He's white. He's higher on their list. Believe me. But not to say that they're racist or anything. But anyhow,
watch the lightning.
Oh, I am. But okay, what the hell? It's okay. And in a crossroads fight, it looks like Carlos Famoso, yeah, my ass, Hernandez and Kevin Flash Kelly will be fighting each other in a major crossroads fight. Really, both of these guys probably should be retired anyhow, especially Kelly after his last performance.
Yeah, from Bobby Pacquiao.
Carlos Hernandez.
I'll go with Kelly by decision. I hope he pulls it out. He doesn't need to fight anymore if he.
I'm going to go with Hernandez. I'm going to say he's going to win. I don't want him to. I want Kelly to win. But I'm going to pick Hernandez to win.
If Kelly's fortunate enough to win, he needs to retire. That'd be a good fight against
a good fighter. And I'll actually
go
out on a limb and say he's going to stop him.
I don't think
Kelly won't make it the distance.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
Bobby Pacquiao and Hernandez, roughly the same level, and Kelly obviously a little under that now.
Pacquiao did beat Hernandez, but you can never go by all that. Styles do make fights.
And it did look like if that would have been a 12-round fight, it looked like the fight was turning back around in Hernandez's favor.
And we'll just have to see. That's September 28th. That's going to be on the OLN network. So.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight for that, actually. It'll be an interesting fight, worth watching.
Absolutely.
And loser should retire, winner should retire.
Yeah, probably. So.
But anyhow, good retirement fight for both guys. And also, it looks like the Miranda versus Arthur Abraham it was canceled originally, but now it's been put back on for
September 23rd.
Late September 23rd, okay. And glad it's back on. Still don't know how we're going to actually watch it.
Yeah,
we'll find a way.
They need to put it September 30th and show it here, because there's nothing signed here at all for that date. So,
but of course that won't happen. That's too
good.
And not going to happen. But anyhow, I still think Miranda's going to win. Although I have to give some credit to Arthur Abraham for making the fight again.
A month later.
Yeah, just I mean, it looked like something where he might have been pulling out. And
I thought that immediately, of course.
now I really don't feel that. I feel like maybe it was a legitimate flu or something, since he was so eager to put it back on so quickly. And anyhow, still looking forward to that. Should be a great fight. Hopefully it'll be a great fight for Edison Miranda.
Absolutely.
And also Koki Kamita and Juan Landeta, however you say it.
Yep, the guy he just fought for the title.
And won controversially
very
against.
controversially. Yep.
Koki Kamita said he wants to prove to everyone that it wasn't a fluke, that it wasn't controversial. He did say that it was a much closer fight than he wanted, and that he wants to prove to everyone he's a lot better than he was that night. And yeah, I think he will. I think it'll be more. I think it'll be decisive that he won. Still haven't seen the other fight. Can't really say. But yeah,
hopefully he knocks him out, and there's no controversy this time.
Yep, so. And this will be his 13th fight.
Yeah,
that's bad luck. That's bad luck. 13.
Yep.
Who knows? But it's I think it's in Japan again. I'm pretty positive it's in Japan again.
Yeah. And that's October 18th, Wednesday here.
That first fight, remember, that fight got huge ratings there. Over half the population of Japan that owns TVs was watching.
It'll be more this time, I'm sure.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
And great news for boxing, even though it's Japan, that can always have an effect maybe somehow. Throughout the whole sport of boxing, hopefully throughout the world. At any time in the world that boxing is getting good somewhere, good. And getting more exposure, good. Matter of fact, Koki Kamita was even in the newspaper here in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
That was unbelievable.
Don't know why. They even had a big picture, like almost half a page. A picture of Koki Kamita with his title, and I don't know why they hardly ever cover any boxing whatsoever. I'm talking about big fights. I'm talking about Oscar De La Hoya fights.
Yeah. It took them days to get De La Hoya Mayorga result in the paper, and it was about that big when they did.
Yes, it was 100 words or so.
Maybe.
It was pathetic.
Yeah.
And they actually mentioned the Tony and Peter fight. It was,
definitely don't
it was a lot
expect
smaller than the
Koki Kamita article.
Yep, it was a lot smaller than that. Don't understand that, but whatever. Yeah. Just glad to see a boxer in a newspaper.
Yeah. Especially one that's not even very known here, definitely.
Nope.
I mean, even the sites here aren't covering him.
Although the Spartanburg Herald Journal is a New York Times newspaper.
Yeah.
Don't care. I don't care, you don't care. Okay, well, and Liakovic, Vladimir Klitschko, and all that great stuff news. Looks like Vladimir Klitschko might be fighting Calvin Brock.
Thank you.
I'll give him some credit for actually doing that if that happens. If he fights someone better than Briggs.
Yeah.
And I'll give him some credit for actually saying, you know what, Briggs sucks. I need to fight someone better than that.
Yeah.
And Calvin Brock is definitely better than Shannon Briggs.
Without a doubt.
And now Liakovic, he was actually wanting to fight Klitschko, but looks like he's settling for Briggs.
Glad Liakovic Klitschko isn't going to happen either.
I'm not glad it's not happening. I'd rather go ahead and get a couple titles unified, even though I don't care about seeing that fight.
No.
They're really still dragging their feet on getting these titles unified. And
they'll try their best not to now, because they have 4 people that they love as champions.
Yeah, they do, but I think that they don't mind. I think the fights will actually be easier to make now because of that. That's going to be our show. Thanks for tuning in once again. boxingforreal@gmail.com. Mail us in at our mailbag. You've been mailing us in. Thank you. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for supporting it. And yeah, we'll